Many men believe that women are far less interested in sex than men are. Because of this, when a man likes a woman, he begins giving her gifts, flowers, taking her to expensive restaurants, solving her problems. In other words, he starts courting her. He assumes that this will help him win her over and lead to sex. But what often happens? The woman loses interest in him. She becomes indifferent, and at best, she's willing to keep communicating with him as a friend, but not as a desirable man. Meanwhile, when a man does enter a relationship with a woman, he often sees that she wants sex just as much as he does, especially in the early stage of the relationship. This desire remains as long as the man doesn't fall into a weaker position in front of her. Additionally, men notice that women often enjoy sex just as much, if not more. After all, women are capable of experiencing multiple orgasms during a single session. So why is it then that women seem sexually not interested when meeting someone new or during the first few dates? Why does the man have to take the lead and gradually guide the interaction toward intimacy? Why do women not only adopt a passive stance, but often shut down a man's sexual advances during a date? And most importantly, how can you act around women to quickly attract and arouse them without resorting to long and often ineffective courting rituals? Let's start with the widely accepted idea that women are less interested in sex than men. That idea is completely wrong. Here's why. On the one hand, there's some fascinating data. Among men aged 18 till 36, 71% regularly watch adult videos. Among women, the figure is only 33%. Why the difference? It's because the sexual instincts of men and women work differently. We men are visual. We are deeply aroused by the female body. This is why men watch porn more than twice as often as women. But even with this difference, statistically, every third woman you meet may also regularly watch adult content. So it's incorrect to say that women are not interested in sex. There's another reason why they act modest and unattainable during the early stages of dating. The root of this issue lies in the way women are raised. From a young age, they are taught to be modest and pure. They are told that if they express their sexuality around a man they don't know well, they'll be judged as slutty. Parents instill this mindset in them. And besides that, girls can see that classmates gossip about other girls in school, labeling them as easy, if they so much as joke suggestively. Even if a girl makes a playful comment, she can become a target of criticism and ridicule. In contrast, men are encouraged to be sexually active. Male friends brag about their exploits. A father will proudly say, "Good job, son," when he hears his son had a successful night with a woman. For women, it's the opposite. If a woman actively seeks out sexual partners, society often views her as immoral. These moral values are instilled in women from a young age and affect them for the rest of their lives. They are terrified of becoming that easy girl that everybody gossips about. And when a woman grows up and enters a new environment, like a workplace, she still fears making the same mistakes and being judged for expressing her sexuality. You need to understand this when dealing with women. Very often, when you think women are not interested in you, when they turn away from a kiss, say, "Let's not rush things," or ask, "What are you doing?" the real problem is not that they don't like you. The issue is their fear to be seen as easy. And I'll explain to you what you need to do when interacting with women to ease their fears. But before that, there's another reason women hold back sexually: their fear of unfamiliar men. Many women have had negative or even traumatic experiences with men at some point in their lives. As a psychologist, I've worked with women who were harassed by stepfathers, uncles, or other men at a young age. These experiences leave deep scars. They make it difficult for women to relax sexually, even with men they are attracted to. To help women feel comfortable becoming intimate to you early on, you need to remove these two psychological barriers. First, her fear of being judged, her general distrust of unfamiliar men. The first step is to build trust and emotional connection with her. At the beginning of a date, you might notice that she keeps her distance, seems tense, or doesn't say much. But as you communicate and build trust, you'll see signs that she's relaxing. She will walk closer to you, make more eye contact, smile, give detailed answers to your questions, and ask you questions in return. These are signs that her level of trust in you is growing. At this point, she no longer sees you as a complete stranger. This is the right time to gradually increase the sexual undertones in your interaction. And there is one very important thing in your communication with women. You've probably felt it yourself. Sometimes, after just a few conversations, you feel like you've known someone forever. Why? Because you've shared emotions that are usually reserved for close relationships. You need to create this same feeling for a woman you're interested in. To do this, you can't stick to the typical interview questions. What do you do for work? What are your hobbies? Where are you from? These fact-based questions won't build trust or emotional connection. Instead, focus on creating emotional moments. I cover how to do this in detail on my Telegram channel. If you follow the strategies I share, you can make a woman feel like she's known you for years in just 30 minutes on a first date. And if you're not even getting to the dating stage, if women stop responding to you on dating apps, it's likely because you don't know how to create emotional connection and trust. Start communicating with women on dating apps and during introductions the way I describe on my Telegram channel, and you'll see a dramatic improvement in your results. Women will want to meet you much more often. Under this video, you'll find a link to my Telegram channel filled with valuable information about how to connect with and attract women. The link is in the description and the first pinned comment. Check it out, read the posts, apply the tips, and you'll see how much it improves the quality of your interactions and how women respond to you. Okay, so you've built trust with the woman and you see the signs I described earlier. You understand that she's relaxed and no longer feels cautious around you. However, there's still a second psychological barrier to overcome before moving forward with intimacy, kissing, or sex. This is her fear of appearing too easy if she moves towards sexual intimacy with you too quickly. It's precisely this fear of being seen as easy that stops her from comfortably letting you hold her hand, hug her, kiss her, or invite her to your place. She might even want these things herself, but this fear, ingrained in her mind since childhood, holds her back. As a psychologist, I've heard many similar stories from women during consultations. A woman goes on a date and the man just talks. He doesn't know how to get closer to her. So I ask the woman, "What do you do to help move things forward?" And very often I get almost the same response. "What do you mean? I don't do anything. That's his job. What will he think of me if I start initiating sexual steps?" And when I ask, "Does the man at least try something?" she replies, "Well, he holds my hand, but I feel awkward about it. I like him, but I feel uncomfortable, and I can't bring myself to stay in that position, where my hand is in his. And after that, he stops making any moves. I feel disappointed, but I don't know what to do." Women themselves have a lot of fears. You might genuinely appeal to them, but because of this mental block, "I look like a slut if I get too close to him," they end up destroying everything. However, you have the ability to bypass this block so that the woman you truly like doesn't react with fear when you take the initiative to move things toward intimacy. Really, women often remind me of an injured kitten with a broken leg. You want to approach it to help, but it runs away. You think, "I don't mean you any harm. I just want to help." But the kitten doesn't understand this. It's scared and runs because at some point someone hurt it before. Now it's afraid of strangers. The same thing happens with women. They've heard stories about how a girl was labeled a slut. They've listened to their parents lecture about the importance of being modest. All of this builds fears in their minds. What if this man thinks I'm too easy? What if we sleep together once and then he disappears? What if someone finds out and starts spreading nasty rumors about me? This is why women behave the way they do. I often found myself in the same situation. I'd be talking to a woman and I could see that our interaction was going well. But when I tried to kiss her, she would turn away. I'd rack my brain thinking, what's going on? Everything seemed fine. We were having a nice, pleasant conversation, and there was nothing that indicated such a reaction, but she would still turn away. At first, I'd get really upset. I felt hurt and even angry, wondering, what did I do wrong? Why doesn't she like me? What's the problem? But over time, I came to understand that the problem was not with me. It was not that she didn't like me. It was that women have a deep-rooted fear of appearing too easy. To us, this fear seems absurd because we're not planning to go around telling everyone, hey, this woman let me kiss her and slept with me. But they still carry this fear instilled in their minds since childhood. Remember that. The real problem was that after this unsuccessful attempt at a kiss, I would often get discouraged and withdraw emotionally. I tried to keep talking to her, but I felt terrible inside, and that affected the quality of our interaction. In the end, the conversation would go nowhere. Over time, due to certain experiences, I realized that it's actually not a big deal when a woman turns away from a kiss. And all I needed to do was keep talking to her as if nothing had happened. I started doing this. I continued interacting with the woman if she turned away. And after a while, when I tried to kiss her again, I was often successful. Remember this. It's a very important point. You must always take into account that women fear appearing too easy in your eyes. To help remove this fear, there's an excellent bridge between conversation and a kiss. That bridge is called flirting. This was something I didn't do before because I didn't know how to do it, but I learned. My interaction with women taught me, and so did my uncle, who was always very successful with women. He shared many tips with me that I'm now passing on to you. So, I started flirting with women and introducing sexual undertones into our conversations. This allowed me to gradually arouse them. Here's what you need to do. Build trust and emotional connection with her. When you notice that she trusts you, start incorporating flirting into your conversations. There's a reason they enjoy reading all those romantic love stories. Because they excite them, the anticipation, the imagination. We men are visually stimulated. A naked female body arouses us deeply, which is why many men enjoy porn. Women are not as visual as we are. They love with their ears. So you see her, she's beautiful, you're aroused, you want her, and you feel attraction. But her attraction will only develop when you start gradually introducing a sexual tone into your conversation. By the way, I have several posts on my Telegram channel where I explain step by step how to create sexual attraction and how to flirt with a woman during a date. Even if you're only talking to her online for now, you can use some of these techniques to make her feel aroused and significantly increase the chances that she'll want to go on a date with you. To find this post, simply go to my Telegram channel, type the hashtag flirting in the search bar, and you'll find posts where I explain how to flirt with a woman. Flowers, gifts, and courtship are not necessary here. Save those for after sex, at that stage. Because it's only after sex when she feels a strong emotional attachment to you and wants to be in a relationship with you. Only after this, she'll truly value those gestures of care and attention. Remember this. Never again try to make a woman fall in love with you through courtship. At best, It might accidentally lead to sex, but that's the exception of the rule. Her sexual instinct doesn't require any of these offerings or displays of courtship. What it does require is feeling arousal toward you. If you want to simplify the process of getting closer to a woman, focus on making a great first impression, building trust, flirting, and smoothly transitioning to kissing, sex, and then a relationship. Check out my Telegram channel, you'll find tons of useful advice there. You can also watch my video where I provide detailed instructions on how to touch a woman to rouse her. See you soon. Bye.